What's up, peeps? Welcome back. As always, I'm your host, Lee Benson. Thank you so much for joining us for the YouTube edition of the AEW Insider. This is the Movies and More edition. We got what's opening this week, some trailer reviews, not many, review of what I did watch, which was pretty much The Mandalorian Episode 3 this week. I watched a little more, but it's slipping my mind. Plus, we have weekend box office, and we got a ton of movie news. So let's get to the show. Let's get to some reviews. I did watch Episode 3 of The Mandalorian. Now, if you were on the fence about this show, you didn't know about this show, this was the episode right here. This opened it up, let you know it's as dope as you thought it was going to be, what have you. We had bounty hunters, people looking like Jabba Fett, big-ass fights going on, big-ass set pieces, the story advancing more. I don't want to give it too much away, but he pretty much had to deliver his bounty, which you know is Baby Yoda. But he felt some way about Baby Yoda when he first found Baby Yoda and when Baby Yoda helped save his life. So this episode has to deal with that. It was fucking excellent. This is the best episode yet that they made. Everybody's stoked about it. Everybody's on board. Jon Favreau, thank you. I do give Episode 3, Season 1 of The Mandalorian a 9.5 out of 10 stars. That's how fucking good it was, people. All right, opening this weekend, we do have Knives Out with Jamie Lee Curtis. It looks awesome. I was going to say it looks like Ready or Not, but it doesn't. There was that old 90s movie called Greed about the grandfather who was dying, and he did a trick on them to figure out who was worthy. It's kind of like this, but with murder. Well, maybe it isn't. Well, anyway, they do murder the grandfather. They all gather the night before for a party or because he wants them there. I think he lets them know pretty much that he's going to be cutting them out of their will, or maybe a lot of them are getting in the will, some bullshit like that. But anyway, he ends up dead. So the whole family is suspects, young, old, doesn't matter who it is. It's got Daniel Craig, James Bond, as a detective who shows up at the house trying to figure it out. With a cast like this, it's hard to get a movie wrong, but it does happen. You know what I mean? Like fucking Ready or Not, I thought was going to be amazing. The story's amazing, the cast was good, but it kind of fell a little flat for me. So let's hope that Knives Out is better. Also opening this week, we do have Queen and Slim. But to me, it looks like Bonnie and Clyde, but the two people are black instead of white. It's done in this day and age. They're deeply, deeply in love. It doesn't look as crazy as Natural Born Killers, but it looks like they're going to get into some serious shit. I know they're driving, they get pulled over, a racial cop fucks with them. In the struggle, the racial cop gets killed, and then these two are on the run. But like I said, they're on Bonnie and Clyde. I'm pretty sure the nation is behind them in a lot that they do, and shit just gets spiraled out of control. The reviews that I've seen for it so far are all good. They're giving it A's, 9 stars, what have you, saying it's the bomb. So I'm excited to see Queen and Slim. I will watch it. I meant to watch it this week, but I will, and I'll let you peeps know how it is. Also, last week I did a trailer review for a movie called Almost Home about these homeless kids in LA. It looks amazing, and it does open this week. And of course, tomorrow, debuting on Netflix, we do have the latest Martin Scorsese movie. This is like his opus. This should be the one. It's Martin Scorsese. They got Joe fucking Pesci back. They have Robert De Niro and Al Pacino. It's a real story. It's another mobster film. It's called The Irishman. This one also has amazing reviews. They did this computer-generated shit because it takes place over a whole lifetime. So it shows them younger, middle-aged, and as older men. And all of them are done with the computer. It looks amazing. They do have Jim Norton in it. It's got Ray Romano in it, plus everybody else I named. This movie is going to be the absolute best. It's like 3.5 hours long. Ed Sheeran is actually related to the guy Sheeran in a movie. It's like his distant cousin who was a real gangster. All right, but anyway, everybody's going to see The Irishman. It's probably going to be the best movie of the fucking year. New trailer reviews. From the producer of Get Out and Us comes Antebellum, starring Janelle Monáe. It looks really, really fucked up. You know how crazy Get Out was. You know how crazy Us is. They're crazy, but they're done psychologically in a good way. Like it fucks with your head, and it's very well done. I don't know if this is a chick just having flashbacks or it's different dimensions, but it looks like they're in this day and age somehow, but it has a lot to do with slavery, too. I really can't explain it. They only got a teaser trailer out, but it looks fucked up and it looks good. So check out the trailer for Antebellum and see what you think. And finally, for trailers, there is The Wolf Hour, starring Naomi Watts. Any movie that takes place in this time frame especially, or with this subject matter, I love. It has to do with the son of Sam, who was a crazy motherfucker in the 1970s. There was a big summer heat stroke and a big blackout in the summer of 77. They're saying that's where a lot of babies were made. See, when Sam Berkowitz was running around blowing young ladies' fucking heads off. Anyway, the son of Sam is a killer who swore that his dog was talking to him and he was giving him messages to go kill people, and he would just roll up on people in a car, couples, usually chicks with blonde hair, and just fucking shoot them and kill them until he got caught. But this shows a woman in her house. All this is going on around her, all the craziness, and something's fucking with her. I don't know if it's son of Sam or it's a killer or it's just her head, but it looks very fucked up. It looks very well done. Check out the trailer for The Wolf Hour. All right, let's get into some movie news. First, we have some Godzilla vs. King Kong news. I predicted this and then I announced it like fucking last year after Godzilla did so-so, but it still did good enough. They wanted, and Kong did okay too. They wanted to do a remake of Godzilla vs. King Kong, and they did it. It was supposed to be out early next year, but it did get pushed back till November of 2020. So if you're a fan of either, definitely check it out next holiday season. The creator of the Jack Reacher movie franchise has just deemed Tom Cruise too old to play Jack Reacher. To me, that's fucked up. I read Jack Reacher books. It's awesome. When they first announced Tom Cruise for it, I understood. Everybody said he's too short. He's not big enough to be Jack Reacher. But the man already fucking proved that he could do it. We already suspended disbelief and put him in that role, and he kicked ass in it. Now you're going to knock him because of his age? The creator's smoking crack. Now, I grew up in the 80s. Yes, I'm that old. I lived in Fairview, New Jersey, and I seen Howard the Duck in a movie theater by my house. I always remembered that. I went with this chick from school, and as a kid, I loved it. As I got older, I noticed how many people hated Howard the Duck. Howard the Duck even had a cameo. In Guardians of the Galaxy 1, the Collector, he was one of his gifts in a case. That was Howard real quick, in case you didn't peep that. Anywho, as a fan of Howard the Duck and all other Howard the Duck fans, rejoice, because Kevin Smith is making a Howard the Duck TV series with Netflix. After the heart attack, Smith is just fucking back, man. He did his movie. He did another one. He's doing his fucking TV shows, his podcast. He's already doing a new He-Man Masters of the Universe anime show with Netflix. Now he's doing Howard the Duck. It's fucking awesome. In a recent interview, J.J. Abrams revealed that a careless actor was responsible for the legit leak of Star Wars 9, the newest one, Rise of the Skywalker. That script got out to somebody. Listen to this. The actors knew the security is insane. The company, they were really nervous about anything getting out. So they only had a handful of scripts, and they were printed on a crazy, uncopyable paper. Then one of our actors, I'm not going to say which one, I want to, but I won't, left it under their bed, and it was found by someone cleaning their place. It was given to someone else who tried to sell it on eBay. So if you were looking on eBay, you've seen the story this year, that really was the Star Wars script, but they were able to retrieve the script before any real damage was done. So right there, Star Wars 9 was almost fucking ruined. That's insane. Warner Brothers is taking scripts and trying to find people or a good story for the next Superman movie. It might not be done for about 3 years, a new Superman, but they are looking to reboot it and, make it a great franchise again. Michael B. Jordan, the star of Creed, actually had a sit-down meeting with Warner Brothers with his own take of Superman, a black one, obviously. They liked it, he liked it, but his schedule is busy for the next couple of years, and nothing is set in stone yet. But you Superman fans, that's what's going on behind the scenes. Danny DeVito has gone on record and said he wants to make a Matilda Part 2. Fans will love that. That literally is my daughter's all-time favorite movie. This is what Danny DeVito had to say about it. I always wanted to do Matilda 2, but when a kid was still a kid. But it was like 20 years ago, 25 years ago. Maybe Matilda has a kid and we could do something that, I don't know. If that idea doesn't pan out, maybe we could see what Bruce Bodstrada is up to. Did he lose weight? Did he gain weight? Does the side of chocolate cake fill him with murderous rage? It's the gritty Matilda sequel we demand. So that's pretty nuts. He wanted to make one when she was a kid, can't do it. He put her in real quick, but you could tell he really just wants to make a Matilda spinoff with himself. In 2016, a remake of the horror cult classic Pumpkinhead was announced to be rebooted. Haven't heard anything in almost 3 years until now. They are still remaking Pumpkinhead, so people look out for that. Let's hope it's not a straight-to-video piece of shit. The Craven estate, as in Wes Craven, are taking pictures for a new Nightmare on Elm Street film. Not talking about making a new Nightmare on Elm Street. They are actually having people come meet with them, come send them their scripts. They're reading their scripts, and when they pick one that they like, it will get greenlit for a studio to make it. Unlike the Friday the 13th franchise that can't do anything right now because they're in fucking court fighting, the Craven estate did win all rights to Freddy, so nothing can stop them. So definitely expect to see Freddy Krueger return in the next few years on the big screen. That's kick-ass, peeps. The cult classic Robocop is being rebooted again. I have to say, even though people didn't like it, I did think the remake a few years back was alright. It wasn't horrible. I guess Hollywood and others did not, though. They are giving it another reboot, and this new Robocop will be a direct sequel to the 1987 original. Now, if that's done right, that's going to whoop ass. And it is being directed by Abe Forsyth. It has been announced that James Gunn, The Suicide Squad, might be rated R. After the Joker DC movie made a fucking $1 billion, the floodgates are now open for DC rated R films. It might be the edge that they need. On to some TV news. Survivor star Silas Gaither. He was actually a contestant on Survivor Season 3. Well, he has been arrested for rape. It is from an alleged connection to a 2018 incident. So no other details have been released right now, but he is in jail for supposedly raping somebody. The Walking Dead had its mid-season finale and people were not happy. I thought it was kind of boring. The cool part is Eugene has been talking to that mystery woman. In the comic book, she's actually a part of a community called the Commonwealth. In the comics, there are different communities. The Commonwealth live like regular people like we used to do. They're all fucking, sequestered pretty much from the outside world. The zombies with the little combine they built. They have, not even little, they have over 50,000 fucking people inside the Commonwealth, which is crazy. But that is going to lead the fucking crew to the Commonwealth like it does in the storybook. In the story, in the comic book, that's where Rick Grimes actually gets killed. So that's not good. This could definitely mean a sign for the end of the show. That's how they're going to wrap it up with the Commonwealth storyline. In the comics, there's 3 of them, and that's that signal you've seen on the helicopter when Rick was taken. Rick's at one of them, and that's where we're going to see his movie take place, and Maggie's at a different one. That's where she's supposedly been. So I think the survivors are going to make it to the Commonwealth, and that's going to wrap up the show, maybe, I don't know, in a season or 2. And finally, for TV news, The Mandalorian has dethroned Stranger Things for being the most streamed show. Stranger Things held the #1 spot for 5 months until now. The Mandalorian had 100 million in a week compared to Stranger Things' 81 million. So congrats to The Mandalorian. Streaming news. Disney Plus finally has added a continue watching list. So you can find what you're watching right on the home screen instead of having to go search for it or go through all the fucking shit to get back to where you're at. They are making more improvements. Music news. Eminem is releasing a new version of his own Slim Shady album. It comes out next month. For me, that's a hard pass. I don't think you can even touch or compare it to the original one. I don't know what the fuck he's doing. Video game news. Well, the modders have been all over Rockstar's Red Dead Redemption 2. If you don't know what a mod is, it's short for a modifier or to modify. On a PC, aka a computer, unlike consoles like the Xbox and PlayStation, if you know how to, you can mod a game. Like Resident Evil this year, for example. In that game, there's a big monster that chases you around trying to kill you the whole time. On a PC, modders turn that monster into Pennywise the Clown from It and tons of other stuff. So some modders from Red Dead Redemption actually put zombies in the game. If you're a fan of the old Red Dead games, they actually had DLC that was a whole world full of zombies. Rockstar didn't make it yet, but the people who modded did, and it looks very cool. The 17-minute video of it is on our Twitter, and let's hope this lights a fire under Rockstar's ass to get us the proper zombie DLC we want for Red Dead Redemption 2. Also, famous video game maker Hideo Kojima. He made such games as, I don't know, Metal Gear and a new Death Stranding. He's like the man. He has announced that his next game will be a horror game. That makes my heart sore. If you know, he was working on a horror game before these other games years ago. It was called like P1, and people still fucking love it. It was so scary, it was so freaky, but the game got shelved because he made Death Stranding. So I can't wait to see what he comes up with. And just some random entertainment, but well, not even entertainment, a regular pop culture story. The founder of Papa John's, a.k.a. the guy from the commercial, he was legit fired from his own company. Some co-workers have released a video of him using the N-word, and you know what N-word I mean. He did an interview and revealed that he, in the last 40 days since he's been fired, he has eaten 30 Papa John's pizzas to make sure they did not change anything in it. And that's crazy. That's just so unhealthy. And oh yeah, even though he used the N-word, he claims that he does like Shaquille O'Neal, which is fucking insane. All right, wrap up the show. We got the weekend box office. Number one, of course, didn't take a rocket scientist. I predicted it. Everybody predicted it. How could it not be? It is Frozen Part 2. In the U.S., it made like 120-something million. Worldwide, for 3.5 days of release, it made over $350 million fucking dollars. It is the highest grossing ever for an animated feature. Originally, Frozen 1 held the #1 spot. Earlier this year, the live-action Lion King actually took it off of them, and Frozen 2 regained its throne. It took it right back. So 350 fucking million worldwide for Frozen 2, and that's your #1 this week. Number 2, Ford vs. Ferrari with 16 million. Number 3, the Mr. Rogers behind-the-scenes biography movie, A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, with 13.6 million. Number 4, 21 Bridges with 9.3 million. And number 5, Midway with 4.8 million. All right, peeps, that wraps up the show this week. I just wanted to get this out to you guys. We got Thanksgiving coming up, so I will definitely still be putting out the podcast. Videos will be a little bit harder. Got Black Friday shopping, got cooking to do, what have you, family over, yada, yada. So definitely check out our podcast. I got tons of shows on there. It's the AEW Insider on all podcasting platforms, Facebook and YouTube, and the AEW Insider 1 as a #1 on Twitter. As always, and definitely check out Jabber Jabber Wrestling Universe too. Those are my boys if you want all WWE. All right, peeps, that's it for this week. I will be back soon enough with some more videos and some more podcasts. As always, I'm your host, Lee Benson. Thank you so much for joining us for the YouTube edition of the AEW Insider. Ciao, peeps.